Hello again. In this video, I would like to discuss with you about all the certificates you need for an HMO property. And I'm also going to share with you some of my experience when I got my first property and how I failed one of the certificates. Okay, so the first, here are all the certificates you need. So you need a gas safety, the EPC, which is the Energy Performance Certificate, and the Electrical Inspection Conditional Report. So my first gas safety certificate, when I arranged for that, I've arranged for someone to come and they looked at the boiler, they looked at the gas installations, and they've also looked at the carbon monoxide and the fire alarms as well. And I didn't have them checked at the time. I think one of them didn't have battery, and I don't think I had a monoxide detector, but I ordered them on the spot and the guy gave me the certificate. So it was all good. And also I spent some time speaking to him, and just there's a human interaction. And I think that also made a difference because I had all of these certificates, I had them in the same day. Then the EPC certificate, that was fine. We already had that, so didn't need to do anything about it. And when the inspectors came to see the electrical installations, my neighbor at the time also came to the property, and I didn't know him before, so I was just getting introduced to him, and I was having a chat with him for like half an hour. All of this time when the guys were doing the electric inspections were there. So I didn't speak at all to the people doing the inspections, unlike with the person who was doing the gas. When the guy was doing the gas safety certificates, I got to talk to him a bit. So that probably was one of the reasons that I didn't fail the gas safety certificate, also because I had most of the things that I needed. But I think that the human interaction and the fact that I spoke to him a little bit was made a bit of a difference. And then when the guys from the electrical inspections came, there were two people, and they were just walking around the property looking at everything. And half an hour later, before they went, they said, "I'm sorry, but you failed this certificate." And they've explained to me why. Now, of course, the property needed a few things to adjust, not just one little smoke detector that you can just order online and stick wherever you're instructed to do so. So I want to tell you now from the report. I think I might even have the report, but I've written down a few things from the report. So I can mention to you what are the things that might get you to fail a certificate, because what I didn't know in my first property and my first certificate was that it's not enough just to arrange someone to check all of these things. I thought you just order online someone to check them and they come and they give you the certificate and that's it. But actually, I didn't know you can fail, and you can fail if you don't have some things in place. Okay, so here are the things that made me fail the first one. And the problem is that if you don't sort these things out and someone comes and checks, they do charge you for the inspection, and then after they give you this piece of paper where it says everything you need to fix, you have to pay again for them to come back and double check. Okay, so the first thing was no waterproof light in the bathroom. So there were a few lights in the bathroom that were not waterproof. I had to hire someone to replace all of those. It wasn't a lot. The lights were not expensive, and I just hired a handyman who was able to change them around, nothing too complicated. I had some exposed wires, so I think one of the lights in the hallway had some wires out, but we didn't use that light, so all I needed to get was like a plastic piece that would cover the wires so they're not exposed, and that was it. And then I think there was another one in the hallway. We had the light, we just didn't have a bulb, and there was another small plasticky thing that was not there. I've also purchased that, so it was really cheap to fix. And the last thing was it said that there was no circuit chart, and there was a plastic fuse board. We actually had a wooden board, and then inside that there was a plastic one, so we had that replaced as well. So we had to call someone to fix all of those things. So the next thing I did was to get someone who can fix all of these things that the handyman wasn't able to fix. And I showed him the failed report, and I asked him if he's able also to give me a certificate after he makes all of those changes. And I've asked for an estimate of the cost, and that was it. It didn't take long. It took him a few hours, maybe 1 or 2 hours, to sort everything out. And then he gave me the certificate on the spot, and that was it. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. So what you need to do with the certificates, let's just clarify. What you need to do with the certificates is, when you have your first tenant, after you've checked everything and you're happy with him to proceed, and you're happy with his references, and he showed you his bank statements and everything, before he moves in the property, and after he paid the deposit, you're going to have to give him the certificates, because in case you want to do an eviction, you have to prove that you've given this to him. It used to be mandatory for you to only give him the EPC, but now all three are mandatory, so you need to have all of these just to cover yourself. The electrical inspection conditional report is quite recent. So recently, there's been a law introduced in July of 2020, where it states that every agreement that is signed after July 2020 needs to have this report. So every agreement you sign with a tenant, it doesn't matter if it's for a room or for an entire property, you need to provide this certificate, and it's mandatory. It was mandatory before, so now basically all you need to know is that you need all of them, and it's not optional. So yeah, that's the thing. So you need to give this to the new tenant. Of course, you also need to give them a few other things, but we will discuss about that in the next few sections. Okay, so I hope this was useful. Feel free to ask any questions. I'm going to leave a link with a blog post in my blog where you have the top providers of certificates in the UK, so you can get in contact with one of them if you need a certificate for your property. So yeah, and if there's anything else that you're not clear about, feel free to ask questions and comment, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much.